Hello everybody, and welcome to today's video where I, the Joker, will show you how to become the, Joker. Have you ever seen a bold Joker before? Well, you have now. Sit back, have a cup of tea, and relax as we get into today's video. Over to you, Killstar Dan.
Thank you, Joker. Hello everyone. It's been a long time since my last video, I know, but I'm back now. So let's get right into the video. But I'm going to take you over to VoiceOver Dan as he shows you how to make your prosthetic mould.
Hello everyone, and welcome to VoiceOver Dan. What you're going to want to get first is a plaster cast of your face. Doesn't have to be specifically your face, but for the purpose of this it will fit a lot better. Since this was a full facial prosthetic, I actually split it into two parts. I did the forehead first as I thought that would be a bit easier, moulded it in silicone, and then went on to do the bottom as well. And since the silicone actually caused the clay to stay on for the most part for the top, I actually sculpted the bottom piece with the top piece as well to make sure that I got the face perfect.
Oh, hello everyone! I can't wait to be real.
And there you are. And here's both of the silicone moulds put together. For sculpting up a facial prosthetic, you're definitely going to want to get the edges nice and thin and overlap them on the moulds.
Okay, so now you've got your mould, or moulds in this case, you're going to want to pour your material in. In this case, I'm using prosthetic grade gelatin, but as you see here, it's not really pourable. So I'll show you what to do now. What you're going to want to do is, you're going to want to pop this in the microwave for a couple of minutes. But, be careful, you're only going to want to do it for about 10 to 20 second intervals. Because if you do it for the whole 2 minutes, it will burn and create a lot of air bubbles. So just set your timer to about 2 minutes. Wait about 10 minutes, not 10 minutes, you don't want to wait 10 minutes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just waiting. Do that for one more go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. Notice that it's completely melted when you just stir it up like this and there's no lumpy bits. So now onto the pouring. Okay, so now once you've melted your gelatin, you're going to want to actually prepare your face cast beforehand. I don't know how well it shows up on camera, but as you see around here, it's a little bit shiny. And that's because on the plaster I've actually used Vaseline, just a thin layer of Vaseline. This is so then it's actually really easy to get the gelatin off of the plaster, and then you just need to peel it off of the silicone. Okay, so now we're going to pour it. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do it down the sides first, because you're going to want to make sure that everything's all covered. Pour it down the sides just to make sure that it's all coated. Be very careful with this because this gelatin is quite hot. In fact, it's burning my hand right now, but I ain't scared of dying. So, but if you are scared of dying, I would recommend putting it down. And then next, just slush it around, because you can definitely see, especially in this gelatin, because it's actually pigmented gelatin. It's pigmented for flesh colour. You can actually tell which areas aren't actually covered. Just pour a little bit in, because what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to actually press. I'd say pour it all in. Yeah, pour it all in. Yeah. I put cling film on the counter, similar to that, so then the gelatin is actually easier to pull off. Right now, want to go and get your face cast and try and measure it and try and just get it as well as you can, and then really, really press it down really, really well. Then, cling film, and just flip it and put it down. Flip it, put it down, and really press it. But put all your weight on it. Because if you've done your plaster shell okay, it should be nice and firm. And there. There we are. It should be okay. As you can see here, gelatin coming out of there. Coming out of it. Not really coming out the sides, because since gravity would push the gelatin into the middle, there isn't as much on the sides as there is the middle part, so that's really where all the gelatin's going to come out. This is going to be a pain to clean up, but that's my problem, not yours. So yes, and you're going to want to leave this for about an hour before you try and take it off. So I'll see you in an hour. Well, it's not going to be an hour for you, it's only going to be a couple of seconds. So I'll see you then. So also mention that since this actually has a large chin and nose piece, this may actually take a little bit longer to set, but usually you can tell by, let me just pry this off very gently. Yeah, to make sure that it is, just dab this a little bit and it actually is yielding to my touch. As in, I can feel that it's still quite soft on the inside, so that should be a little bit longer. The nose is a bit more firm, but the chin isn't, so this will probably take about another half an hour or so.
That's why you want cling film on your kitchen counter.
Now this, on the other hand. Oh.
Hello everyone, VoiceOver Dan again. So as you see I'm doing here, I'm taking it off of the plaster cast very easily. Now since nothing really sticks to silicone, you're still going to want to be very, very careful with taking the gelatin off of the silicone mould. And what I'm doing here is I've actually got baby powder on a makeup brush and very, very carefully peeling it away from the silicone mould. Because if you're not careful, it will tear, especially if you've done the mould right and the edges are really, really thin, like as you can see here. So just be very patient and very careful if you do it. But the good thing about not silicone, the good thing about gelatin is that it is reusable. So if you do tear it too much, you can always melt it down and just start it all over again. You will have to reapply Vaseline on your plaster cast, but no worries.
Alright, so I'm all set to start with the makeup. Here it is on the... Oh! Yeah, here it is. I've got my suit on. Not the jacket, because I don't want to stain that with everything. I put tissue paper on my surface, which is my bed. So then I don't get any Prosade on that. So let us start.
So what you're seeing me doing here is I'm actually putting gelatin back into the mould. Because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to apply Prosade onto my face, and while that's setting I'm going to apply it onto the facial prosthetic. And the reason I'm putting it in the mould is so then when I put it on my face I can actually place it with the gelatin not folding over itself, because especially with the thin edges, if it folds over itself, then if you try and pry them apart, it will tear it. And so as you see there, I have it on my face and no folding over edges whatsoever. There is a few tears actually in the middle of the mold of not the mold, bleh, of the prosthetic. But I'll show you how to thin out these edges very soon. And here I am attempting to do it with the bottom half as well. I don't know what I'm doing here because I'm not in frame. Let me just see as much. There you go. There's the bottom half in the mould. Not very well in frame, of course, because I'm filming this myself. But yeah. And here I am. There we go. There we go. Now the second part is on as well. And as you can see, some of the edges are not glued on, and I did that on purpose because the big one which you can see there is actually the overlap, and there I'm applying Prozaid onto it to overlap onto the other facial prosthetic, because then I can blend it in on itself. What I'm doing now is I'm actually using cotton buds to apply it, because cotton buds are just really easy. There I am, just making faces to the camera because I mean I'm got a Joker face on, so why not? Now I am pressing it on, making sure everything's glued down. A little tip I will say to learn from my mistakes: if you're going to make a massive chin like this, hollow out the chin, because the chin was an absolute nightmare to stick, and even at the end it still wasn't fully secure. And that is because the gelatin did weigh it down quite a bit, so if I were you, I would see about hollowing out the chin a bit more. And here I am actually blending it out. What you're going to want to do to blend it out is you're going to want to get some witch hazel on a cotton bud and just very gently apply it by brushing away from the edges. And there I am, a bit ahead. What I'm doing here is I'm actually using Snazzaro Clown White face paint. I did apply it with just the face paint on its own with a sponge, but what I ended up doing later was I actually mixed it up with a little bit of water and just brushed it on with a makeup brush, because with this it was actually came out very patchy. And if you mix it up with water, it will make it a bit more runny and liquidy, so then it will actually get into all the little details, so then it won't come out all patchy. It will cake on a little bit, but that doesn't really matter. And here I am with a bit of eyeshadow on, and I'm going to show you how to contour your face. What I'm doing here is I'm getting a kind of medium grey eyeshadow, brushing it on to the detail areas. And how I do this is I put a thin line on around the area and then brush away from the detail, so then it looks like a shadow. And I'm doing this around all of the detail layers, because even if you made the details absolutely tremendous, in some lighting it won't show up as well, so always just add a little bit of detail to it, so then it pops really nicely. Doing a bit of contour around the temple, because on the Arkham Asylum Joker his temples are quite extravagant because he is quite skinny and gaunt. What I'm doing here is I'm actually applying a little bit of the grey around the face, just so then the detail areas really pop and the wrinkles come out really nicely. You don't have to do this, but with the Snazzaro Clown White, it is the whitest you can be, so I always like to add just a little bit of darker colour, just so then it doesn't look too extreme. I'm making faces to the camera again. Here I am applying some lipstick, and since this is Arkham Joker, he's got quite an extreme lipstick, so I applied it on the side of the face as well. You're definitely going to want to make sure that the white face paint is dry before you do this, or else your lipstick is just going to be stained with white face paint. I love making faces. That's Joker. And here I am with the wig made by my friend Snowflake Chime on Instagram. I'll pop her details down in the description. And so what I did was I put it on my head, and then I started putting Prozaid around the edges, since this is a lace front wig. So then it keeps it nice and secure, and it helps blend it into the actual head. My actual head, I should say. Oh yeah, and the eyebrows, since my eyebrows are kind of visible, what I did was I just got some green eyeshadow with a very thin brush, and then just traced on around my eyebrows to where his eyebrows would be. And I'm just putting the final little touches onto the wig, and there we go. The Joker!
I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to check out the other ones here, or here, or there. I don't really know where it's going to be. I'm not editing it. Dan is the one who's going to be editing it. I hope you enjoyed this video, but if you didn't, I'm truly, truly very sorry.